Hello coaches, welcome back to another Modern Soccer Coach Breakdown. This week we're going to look at switching the play, something that's not new in the modern game, but definitely something that may be changing in terms of how we coach it, in the detail in which we coach it, something that is maybe overgeneralized but undercoached or undertaught in the game today. We're going to look at a session plan at how you can coach this with a little bit more detail and what behaviors you want out of the opposition. As always, please like and subscribe if you enjoy, and if you want the dimensions and the details of each of these exercises, you can get them for free on the link below on the Modern Soccer Coach page. And when you're there, please check out the ebooks, the sessions, the videos, all the great content we've got over there. Thanks as always for the support. Here we go, switching the play. Alright, so first up, we always start these videos with objectives and definitions, but switching the point of attack, I'm sure everyone's aware of what it is. This time we're going to do something different and say what it's not, because sometimes I think it gets a little misinterpreted in terms of what it's not. It's not just kicking the ball from one side of the pitch to the other. In fact, if you do that, you might open up yourself to more transitions. So in order for you to be successful in changing the point of attack, it's about moving the opponent across and using that isolation or a 1v1 on the far side, or even an overload on the far side. So it's always about moving the opposition across, and today's session we're going to look specifically at how to move the opposition, not at how to just switch the ball technically, but more about how to create the situation and maximize the opportunities tactically if you've got the ability to move the opposition and then switch the ball. Here we go. So the first exercise we're going to look at is a small-sided possession game. Again, if you enjoy these, check them out on the link below. If you've got a big group, you can have two of these going at the same time. 5v2, 2 zones, 4v2 in 1 zone. After 5 passes, the team in possession is looking to switch the ball. The 2 wide players move with it to create a new 4v2. 1 player at the end line stays. The 2 defenders move all the time. So it's that principle again of possession in an area, moving the defenders over and then switching the play. If the defenders win the ball, they can score in the 2 mini goals. 90-second set, switch the players, keep the tempo high. The next game is an 8v8 6-goal game. Now this is where it changes in terms of being more specific with how you're going to coach this. Now a 6-goal game is pretty traditional for switching the play type of session, but if you just use mini goals, then sometimes you can play into the switching it when it's not the right time to switch. So the best time to switch is when you move the opponent. So in order to change the conditions of the game, we'll switch from mini goals into gates, where now you put a number 9 across, and now that number 9 is going to move in relation to where the ball is. So to score, the number 9 has to be at the gate, which means now you've got to move the ball across. The 9 has to read the switch, and then when the ball is switched, the 9 can drop into that position and receive the ball. There's more positioning in this game, there's more thinking in this game, and more importantly, the concept of moving the defensive team and the relationship with that forward to move in an opposite line becomes key to how you're going to maximize those situations when you switch the ball. And then the third exercise that we finish with is an 11v11 game. If you don't have the numbers, you can play 10v10, 9v9, even 8v8 in this setup. Bigger pitch, if you want the dimensions, get them on the link below. 3 zones, players can move in any zone, anywhere they want. There's one condition of the game, and that is, in order to score, you've got to circulate the ball in all 3 areas. Once you do, you can score. And what that typically does is it means that the team has moved the opponent across and taken advantage of weak side space. What teams will typically do, especially at young levels when they play the game, they'll try and get their 3 areas first and then attack, but it's quite predictable. As you get better at the game typically flows where the conditions doesn't matter, and if you're circulating the ball, you'll generally circulate in all 3 zones in order to switch the play. The transition is still in play. A team can score from a transition if it's under 6 seconds. So again, if it's over 6 seconds, then you've got to circulate the ball, keep the realism in the game as well, and keep the intensity levels up. Really, really good game in terms of problem solving, and then as a coach, maybe stepping back and observing that. So there you have it, coaches. 3 exercises that you put together in a session for switching the play. Again, it depends on the philosophy of the coach in terms of your coaching points. I've put some dimensions and coaching points in the link below. Don't forget to check that out. But the big thing for me is that if you're a team that wants to maximize switching the play and opening up the pitch and playing an expansive shape, then you've got to look at how you're playing in those condensed areas, because that's going to dictate whether you can actually get out of those areas and then take advantage of isolations or free players or overloads on the far side. Once your central players are comfortable in those situations and those movements, then all of a sudden switching the play becomes a lot easier. But more importantly, you can then create goal scoring opportunities from switching the play. So I really enjoyed putting that together. If you enjoy the full session format here and you want some more full session plans, we've got a full ebook on Modern Soccer Coach 20 attacking session plans that deal from build up, midfield combination play into final third play. It's available on the link below on the website. There's tons of stuff on there, tons of sessions that you can adapt to your principles. Thank you as always for your support. If you enjoyed the video, please don't forget to give it a like before you shoot off today, and I will see you next week. Thank you. Goodbye.